Hello from San Antonio. This is Siren, and this is my hair. So, I thought it would be fun to do a video on my compatibility with various celebrities as discovered at astrotheme.com. I'll provide a link to astrotheme.com in the description box. That's where I go to check the transits. So you can put in your information, your date, time, location of birth, and you can see how compatible you are with various celebrities. Just put a celebrity's name in the search box and you'll find all kinds of stuff. So this was inspired by a dream I had earlier. I don't know where my hair clip is. I don't know. I dreamed of Brad Pitt. He's never been high on my list, never really had a crush on the guy, but I dreamed of Brad Pitt this afternoon because I sleep during the day. And we were about to have sex, and then Angelina Jolie caught him down to the pool, and so I lost him. He had to go deal with Angelina. Okay. So, my sun is at 29 Aquarius, my moon is at 6 Virgo, and my ascendant, I never can remember. My Virgo ascendant is either at 1 or 2 degrees Virgo. Brad Pitt, he has his sun at 25 Sagittarius, his moon 22 Capricorn, and his ascendant 11 Sagittarius. And there is this metric they provide. So our human rating, whatever the fuck that means, our human rating is 59%, our emotional rating 53%, sexual 53%, communication 68%. That's very mediocre. And they summarize it by saying, your relationship is a challenge both of you can take up successfully on the condition that you demonstrate willpower, which you certainly will. Well, that's optimistic. So I thought it would be fun to look at that, and there's some other celebrities that I'll discuss as well. Some other celebrity men. Just for fun. My newest deck, Rider Waite, that I got at Planet K in San Antonio. If Brad Pitt were to meet me in McDonald's, so we're standing in line and I'm going to get the 10-piece chicken McNuggets, large fries, large Coke. This computer is loud, it's a dinosaur. And I can't really imagine Brad Pitt being in a McDonald's in San Antonio, but let's be absurd, shall we? So I'm standing in line in a McDonald's. The McDonald's in Alamo Heights across from Central Market on Broadway, San Antonio, Texas. If I were to meet Brad Pitt in this McDonald's, what would he think of me? 6 cards. A good hard shuffle. I need to know the truth. What would Brad Pitt think of me? Uno más. Nine of Cups. The Star. Oh my God. The Empress. I have a hard time believing this. Okay. King of Cups. Oh my God. It would be love at first McNugget. Judgment. 3 of Pentacles. Baby, you are so fine. I have to tell you, whatever you're getting, I'm buying. Would you join me at my booth? Let's talk. Okay, Brad. Yes, I've seen your movies. Um, I really admired your performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Um, but what's up with Nicole? Okay, she looks really good in a bikini, and I really don't. She can speak several languages. I can speak English. You know, I can't really give you whatever Nicole gives you or whatever Angelina gave you or whatever Jennifer Aniston gave you. I'm not that girl. I'm not that woman. You know, I'm not that sophisticated. I'm not that traveled or whatever. I'm not a model. I'm not an actress. But if you want to buy my McNuggets, that's cool. We can talk. We can hang. So, um, I basically am the woman that Brad Pitt has been searching for all of his life. You know, it's not about looks. I tell my clients this again and again. It's about energy. And I am an energetic match for Brad Pitt. I am his divine feminine. I'm being facetious. I'm having fun. But just to suffice to say that according to these 6 cards, Brad Pitt would be sufficiently impressed with me if we were to meet at McDonald's. He would buy my McNuggets. He would sit across from me in a booth and just grill me. So, who are you? What's your name? What has your life been like? Um, well, I was born in Bridgeport, Texas, to teenagers in 1973. Um, I've been married and divorced twice. I've given birth twice. My firstborn is actually a Sagittarius. And I found my fame and fortune shuffling tarot cards at YouTube. Fame and fortune. I have a little over 13,000 subscribers. Um, I won't even get into my Google AdSense payments. I know people hate all the ads at YouTube, but my Google AdSense payments won't buy me very many McNuggets. I'll just put it like that. I've written a few books. My books are at Amazon. I've sold a few paintings. So we would talk about art, music, architecture, New Orleans maybe. I've always had this fantasy, this dream, this bucket list thing of getting married and then going to New Orleans for the honeymoon. And that's probably from my childhood, because when I was in first grade, before my parents got a divorce, inexplicably, my parents took me and my 2 younger siblings and a babysitter to New Orleans. We road tripped from Jacksboro, Texas to New Orleans in a station wagon, listening to the greatest hits of Hank Williams Sr. and Hank Williams Jr. all the way there, all the way back. And we went to Bourbon Street, and there were some doors open. I could see these women, these naked women on stage, you know, these topless dancers in New Orleans on Bourbon Street when I was 6 years old. And I got a souvenir back scratcher, and my dad broke it on my ass. He spanked me with my souvenir. So I've always liked the idea, and this picture, this iconic picture I saw of my parents, I don't know where the picture is now, but I want to get it and I want to put it in a frame. It's a black and white photo of my mom and dad at Pat O'Brien's, this popular bar in New Orleans, and you can tell they're drunk. My dad's wearing this black cowboy hat. He's got his arm around my mom. They're both bombed out of their minds, and the table is littered with empty hurricane glasses. So, and in Gone with the Wind, Rhett takes Scarlett to New Orleans for their honeymoon. So I've always liked the idea of going to New Orleans as an adult with a man I love who loves me. Having sex, hanging out on Bourbon Street, listening to some jazz, listening to the blues, going into a topless bar maybe, eating some gumbo, you know. So I would tell Brad all of this. And he would say, baby, here I am. Let's go. And so we would go to New Orleans. And I'm just curious. Okay, so we're attracted to each other. Brad would like what he saw. But is it going to last between me and Brad Pitt? Are we going to exchange vows? Are we going to marry each other? Maybe. It's up in the air. Two of Pentacles. Okay. Now, Jim Morrison. I was obsessed with The Doors after I saw Oliver Stone's movie The Doors in 1991. I was a senior in high school. So I got The Doors records. I got them on CD. I got the books. I got Riders on the Storm by John Dinsmore, Strange Days by Patricia Kennelly, and that's a whole story in and of itself. I was so obsessed that I looked up Patricia Kennelly's phone number. I found the number for Patricia Kennelly, or maybe it was Patricia Morrison, I don't know, but I found this chick's number, and she was in New York, and I left a message on her machine. And then I sent Patricia Kennelly a letter, and she sent me a letter on parchment paper using purple ink. And I was so wowed by that. That's how I got into tarot, actually, and Wicca. I was so fascinated by this witch in the movie. So that's how I got my first Rider-Waite tarot deck. Anyway, she wrote me this very kind, gracious letter. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. So, anyway, I'm still a Doors fan. So Jim Morrison, he had his sun at 15 Sagittarius, his moon at 9 Taurus, ascendant 12 Aquarius. So his ascendant would have been, if he were still alive, his ascendant would be conjunct my Venus at 16 Aquarius. His moon would trine my moon tight. His moon's 9 Taurus, mine is 6 Virgo. Okay. So our human rating, 45. Emotional, 53. Sexual, 49. Communication, 47. That's mediocre. Your relationship goes through ups and downs, even though it is very likely that your love is of an exceptionally high quality. Okay. If Jim Morrison could have met me, if I could have met him, if we were in the same incarnation together, if we had met at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles, what would he have thought of me? 6 cards. The Star. He would have been dazzled. The Empress. I guess I didn't shuffle these cards very well. Maybe that was on purpose. King of Cups. So, yep, he would have loved me. Judgment. Yeah, I didn't shuffle for shit. This is embarrassing. 3 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. So it would have been mutual attraction. I would have been starstruck, obviously. He would have been starstruck as well. He would have bought me a drink. We would have gone to his place in Laurel Canyon. We would have smoked a bow, dropped some acid, had amazing sex. But would we have gotten married? Yeah, we would have gotten married. 6 of Wands. And if I had married Jim Morrison, he wouldn't have died in a bathtub in Paris. He would have lived to a very advanced age. We'd be together right now, living in Fiji. So, lo siento. Lester Bangs. Never really had a crush on Lester, but his book, Carburetor Dung and Psychotic Reactions, it's a book of his essays. He wrote for music magazines. He was a music critic in the 60s, 70s. He died relatively young. He liked to drink cough syrup. Lester Bangs, another Sag. That's 3 Sages, right? His sun was at 22 Sagittarius, his moon 25 Taurus, ascendant 0 Virgo. So his ascendant would have been conjunct mine. Better than mediocre. Our human rating 79%, emotional 72, sexual 88, communication 79. Okay, if Lester Bangs had met me in Greenwich Village at, what is the place? If we had met at CBGB's, what would Lester Bangs have thought of me? 6 cards. So we're at CBGB's, we're watching the New York Dolls, and he's got his beer, and I've got mine, and what's going to happen between me and Lester? Judgment, another Sagittarius card. I mean, again, see, I'm not good at the shuffling. 3 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. 6 of Wands, so he would have been sexually into me. He would have been attracted. He would have had an erection. Queen of Pentacles. Page of Cups. He would have bought me a beer. There would have been respect. Respect would have been established right away. We had the same taste in music. We were vibing. We were in sync. So, would we have gotten married? Would Lester Bangs have married me? One card. He would have thought about it. 2 of Wands. It could have gone either way, but there would have been a strong attraction and there would have been a friendship. Okay. I had a massive crush on Lou Diamond Phillips when I saw him in La Bamba when I was 15. I had the soundtrack on vinyl. We have the same birthday, but not the same year. He was born February 17th, 1962. I was born February 17th, 1973. He was born in the Philippines. I was born in Bridgeport, Texas. His sun is at 28 Aquarius. Mine's 29. His moon is at 4 Leo. He has Leo rising, 18 degrees. And I don't really get this because our moons don't aspect. Our suns are conjunct. But this says that our human rating is 100%, our emotional rating 100%, our sexual rating 100%, communication 94. Damn, baby, let's go to Vegas. You are enjoying an exceptionally smooth relationship. Oh, and for Lester it said your relationship is very smooth and few things are likely to harm your fundamental harmony. Okay, but with Lou Diamond Phillips, you are enjoying an exceptionally smooth relationship. Cool, bueno. If Lou Diamond Phillips were to bump into me, waiting in line at HEB, what would he think of me? Let's do a good heart shuffle. My hair's in the way. I may delete this, I don't know. Uno más. Nine of Cups. Seven of Wands. That's Mars and Leo. Strong sexual attraction. The Fool. The Sun. Four of Pentacles. I'm just fighting them off. Judgment. So yeah, he would fall in love with me at first sight. So we're standing in line at HEB. There I am in all my glory. Wearing one of my red bubble shirts. Okay. And I'm buying lemons. And Snickers. Lou Diamond Phillips, he's buying kale and spinach for smoothies. I don't know. He seems like he's really healthy. I've got to ask, who are you? Where do you come from? You miracle of miracles. Hi, Lou. I'm Misty. I loved you in La Bamba. So we would buy our stuff and we would go hang out in the parking lot. I don't know what kind of vehicle the man drives, but I'm sure it's a nice vehicle. I'm sure it's very clean. So we would hang out in his very clean, luxurious vehicle. And we would talk about Richard Ramirez and Richie Valens. I don't know, the perfect smoothie. What I've been into lately is Knudsen's organic cranberry juice with filtered water with organic frozen spinach. You know, I get the bags of organic spinach, put it in the freezer. Frozen raspberries. To me, that's a really good smoothie. Talk about fasting, talk about tarot. What does it mean exactly to be born on February 17th? Aquarians tend to have this in common with Virgos. We tend to be really boring, you know, creatures of habit. I'm going back in time to my stepdad. I was a teenager in Midland, Texas. And I said something that made my stepdad laugh. And he said, "You're going to make some man so happy someday. You're going to be such a good wife." That was the best thing he ever said to me. I don't know. I amused him. And he said, "One thing you definitely aren't," he said, "you are not boring." So that's my perception of myself. I've been myself for so long, 47 years. I guess I'm just bored of being myself, you know. But this is very positive. This is really good. So would me and Lou, would we actually marry each other? Two of Swords. No, we wouldn't get married. The communication wouldn't flow between us. I don't know where his Mercury is. But this is why I talk a lot at my channel about the Moon and Mercury as the keys to synastry. You want that energy to always be fresh. You don't want that to run out. Because the energy of Mars-Venus, the sexual attraction, that will run out at some point. That will expire. You'll find this person getting on your last nerve, you know. So if you don't have something to support Mars Venus, the strong sexual attraction, it's going to run out. I mean, look at Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Um, this optimal couple, Barbie and Ken, two actors who were riotously, they were really fucking in love. They had friends in common. They had this great life. They had this great wedding with fireworks. But it ran out. You know, if they were okay, if they were solid, Angelina Jolie would not have been a threat. But she was. And so, reading about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt in a magazine once, I thought, wow, man, they got it down to a science. These motherfuckers will never get a divorce. They adore each other. So she had just flown a plane or something. She flew a Cessna, and he was at the airstrip there waiting to meet her, and they ran into each other's arms or some bullshit. And I thought, well, if you have that many kids together, it's going to last because you really want it to have that many kids together. But that's not true. So, in this dream that I had of Brad, I just felt so good. It was a surprise. Like, you want to have sex with me? Really? No comprende. But that's tripping on the exterior, tripping on the surface. Back to Mars, back to Venus, back to Mercury, back to the moon. It's all just energy. And energy is mutable. It's always changing. With the progressed moon, so my progressed moon recently moved into Gemini, you're going to see a change in your life. You're going to feel a change in your energy when your progressed moon changes. When my progressed moon was in Aries, I was very high strung. I was manic. I was running all over San Antonio. I was trying to fill the void. I couldn't be alone. I had to be in the noise. I had to follow my Scorpio friend from happy hour to happy hour. I had to go out and see the lights of San Antonio. It was very loud. It was very chaotic when my moon was in Aries. And I finally graduated from college, got my Bachelor of Arts in English when my moon was in Aries. And I was at Planet Fitness. I lost all this weight. Then the moon moved into Taurus and I slowed down. I quit Planet Fitness, put the weight back on, stopped having sex, started getting serious about my money, systematically paying off my credit cards, getting my first savings account in years, taking care of myself spiritually, my spiritual hygiene. Then, now my moon recently moved into Gemini, and I feel this need to communicate. And this is going to be it for me for the foreseeable future. Just me talking to this camera, doing client readings, doing the content for YouTube. I'm not going out there. I sold my vehicle a few weeks ago, and I've said numerous times, as long as I'm in San Antonio, and I'm here until my son graduates high school, I'm in San Antonio, I'm not going to get another vehicle. I'm not going to drive because it's too crazy. It's too crazy in San Antonio. So, this is how I'll communicate. I don't think I'll go back to Instagram or Twitter. I definitely won't go back to Facebook. I'll talk to the cards and through the cards. The moon is how you feel. That's your overall energy. Your daily habits and routines. Your pain body, the stuff you carry from your past. Emotions, feelings. Mercury, it's how you understand, process, disseminate, communicate, articulate information. So, for me, I mean, having Virgo rising, having Mercury in Pisces in my 7th house. Mercury is my chart ruler. Communication is of utmost importance to me. So I cannot spend any amount of time with a man I can't talk to. I can't be with a man who doesn't read books. I can't be with a man who doesn't have intellectual curiosity. It's just not going to work. And it's not just communication, it's the quality of communication. I was talking to my ex and our son earlier during dinner, talking about an ex of mine from 2016 and how I did not understand his sense of humor at all. We were not on the same page. Here's an example. He went to a coworker's funeral and sent me a picture he took sitting there with other people at this funeral. He took a picture of the man's coffin and sent me that picture and made some kind of joke about it. And I thought, seriously? I didn't get it. So he went down that whole flat earth rabbit hole. So we couldn't really talk. He didn't have any books. He had intellectual curiosity, but not the kind that I have. He could speak another language fluently, but the quality of the communication, just, we were a mismatch. But his Mercury is in the early degrees of Cancer. My Mercury is at 14 Pisces. So I think that good Mercury synastry is important, and I think good Moon synastry is equally important. But that's just my perspective, because I have Virgo rising and I have a first house moon that makes a lot of aspects. My sun does not make that many aspects. My moon makes more aspects than my sun. But I would say, I've done some research, and I would say that's pretty much a universal truth. That's universally true for most people. You want someone, ideally, you have really tight Moon and Mercury with. Anyone can see your sun. You walk out the door, you greet the neighbor on your way to collecting your mail, or you order a taco, or you get a beer, whatever. Most people, strangers, acquaintances, can see our sun. Our sun is on display. Even if we're an introvert, even if we're a Virgo or a Capricorn, people can see our sun. So when you're guessing someone's sign, you're guessing their sun sign, because that's the most obvious, blatant thing about you. If you know astrology, Western astrology, the moon is more subtle. But when you're in a romantic, sexual, 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups kind of relationship where there's a lot of intimacy and shared time, the moon takes center stage. I participated at this astrology forum. I was in this astrology community online a few years ago. And women can be very catty, very cold, very judgmental. But women see a lot more than men do. A lot of times women can see into things, they can see into the surface, see beyond the surface. Anyway, this conversation came up at the forum about this particular celebrity, female. And they were saying it doesn't matter how beautiful she is. The reason why she can't keep a man is because she's fucking crazy, and men don't like crazy. Now, not to be judgmental, I mean, I have depression, anxiety. I've been diagnosed with bipolar 2 myself. But there is some truth to that. That no matter how good you look, no matter how good the sex is, a lot of men don't want to put up with crazy. They don't want to put up with drama, with huge shifts in behavior. Like you're this way one day and the next you're this way, or you're just very clingy and very desperate and you have to be with that man 24/7, or you have to have constant communication, that's going to repulse anyone, male, female. So it's about energy. It's about finding balance in yourself and liking yourself and not getting too hung up on the exterior, on how much you weigh, how good you look in a bikini, your hair, your face. Doing the energy work. Because like I was telling a client earlier, in a private reading, anyone can manifest a committed relationship, marriage. I had mixed results when I was on various dating sites, but I was surprised by how much success I had at OkCupid in 2016, because I had really shitty luck at Match.com. But at OkCupid, these men didn't just want sex, they wanted a relationship right away. I met this one man for drinks, and on the basis of that one meeting, he was ready for us to move in together. He was making plans. He was planning shopping trips, and I didn't understand that. Another man wanted to get really serious really fast. The man that won me, the man that I actually hooked up with, we moved in together right away. Didn't work out, but what was my point? I'm not sure that I had one. But I guess I was glowing. I guess I was in a really good place in 2016, that summer. I looked okay in a bikini, but I was riding high because I had finally graduated from college. I was feeling good about myself. So, oh yeah, this is my point. Anyone can manifest a committed relationship, even marriage. That's not that hard. But if you want something better than mediocrity, if you want something beyond companionship, you have to do the work. If you want a 10 of cups, 4 of wands kind of marriage, something deeply felt, where there's flow and it goes both ways, there's mutuality, you have to spend some time alone. You have to turn off the noise. You have to work for that. You have to find the temperance, the 2 of cups in yourself before you can manifest that in a relationship. And again, I'm not 19, I'm not 20, I'm someone who has a lot of life experience. I've had a lot of relationships. I've given birth twice. So, I know what I'm talking about. And no, I've not gotten it right with a man yet. I've had extreme highs and extreme lows with a few different men. But I still dream of getting it right. I dream of getting married a third and final time, and marrying someone I truly deeply love, who truly deeply loves me. And that doesn't just fall out of the sky, especially when you're in your late middle age, like I am. Okay. A reading for the collective. Maybe if you're watching this right now, you're supposed to be watching this. Maybe there's a message in this for you. 6 cards for the collective. Good hard shuffle. Moss. Death. We are in Scorpio season. 4 of Cups. 2 of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Swords. the Empress. So yeah, find your divine feminine. Find the divine feminine inside yourself. Don't look outside yourself. Know your value, know your worth. The Empress, that is Venus. If you're still hurting from a previous relationship, it's like I said in pick a card reading earlier. If you want to create space for something optimal, where there is mutuality, there is reciprocity, you got to take out the trash, clear out the old, create space for the new. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe someone cheated on you. Maybe to me this is as bad as it gets. I'm thinking of my mom, 1979. My mom in 1979. She had just given birth to her third child. My brother. Okay. I was in kindergarten, and things weren't good with my dad. Things were never good with my dad. But she told me when my brother was a baby, I don't know how old he was exactly, but my dad got drunk and beat up his boss, and he was on crutches. So they were going to fire my dad. He worked in the oil field. We lived in Jacksboro, Texas. And my mom said she had to go to my dad's employer and she had to beg him. She said, look, we have 3 kids. We have this baby. Please don't fire my husband. The only way my dad was able to keep his job was they transferred him to Louisiana. And when he was transferred to Louisiana, he met this woman in a bar, and she became his second wife. He left me and my younger siblings and my mom for this woman he met in a bar in Louisiana. So I think back at the times I've had in my life where I was rejected by some man and how bad it hurt. But I think there cannot be anything worse than that. Having 3 children and just a high school education and being abandoned like that. And there being another woman involved. To me, that is the absolute worst. So, if you're currently going through something similar, you have my sympathy. If you're holding on to someone who just isn't really giving you much back, someone who has clearly rejected you, and you're not in communication with this person, but you're still energetically attached. If you're stuck in the 4 of Cups, one of the biggest red flags in the deck, and we all go through it, it's common, it's the human condition. But 4 of Cups is where you feel like you can't manufacture, or you can't create any happiness on your own. You can't find that high vibration on your own. It has to come from another person. It has to come externally. What's there to get excited about unless someone is blowing up your phone? I get it. But you have to work through that and go beyond that. Come out the other side. We all have to find the high vibration in ourselves first and foremost. I'm a broken record. I say the same thing again and again because it's true. You know, there are days that I just feel like, feel like I'm 100 years old. Feel like there are no more surprises in store for me. There's no more magic. And I get caught in that trap, same as everyone else, comparing and looking at this person and this person. And wow, you went from 5,000 to 30,000 subscribers in 2 months. Must be nice. You know, it's a trap. It's bullshit. But we all go through that. No one is exempt. No one is Gandhi. No one is God. We all are. But we all struggle. We're all Gandhi, we're all God, and we all struggle. You have to look at the brightest and the dimmest, because we contain it all. We're Gandhi. We're God. We're Hitler. We're Richard Ramirez. So, we absolutely can kick the Four of Cups in the ass. We die many times before we have our literal physical death on planet Earth. Okay, if we're conscious, if we care, if we're not dead inside, we have many psychic deaths. Things affect us. We mourn losses throughout our lifetimes. If we're not just walking around in the dark, unconscious, taking up space, if we are energetic at all, we're going to suffer. We're going to have losses, and we're going to either rise above the ashes or just stay down. Find your power, your value, your balance, your strength. You don't have to wait for Brad Pitt to buy you chicken McNuggets. The Wheel of Fortune is always turning. We all get our turn. It's lonely at the top and at the bottom and at all points in between. It's lonely until you find that bliss. You find that divine connection, that divine spark in yourself. I get it, and then I lose it. I get it, and I lose it. So, it's not even kill with me. I'm still working through stuff. I've not ascended, finally. I don't know. I still have some stuff to work through. But if someone is not blowing up your phone, count that as a blessing. You can't stay in that intensity all the time. There has to be some contrast. So when you have peace and quiet, enjoy the peace and quiet. When no one is interested in you, enjoy that. Be interested in yourself. So that's what I got. I might delete this, I don't know. But if you're watching this, you're supposed to be seeing this. I hope this helps. I hope this resonates in some way. I hope it speaks to you. Thank you all so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. Sending you all massive love and light from San Antonio.